Most gardeners think they've run out of space when the ground is full. But what if the most productive part of your garden isn't the soil at all, but the air above it? Today, I'm revealing 10 edible climbing vines that hardly anyone talks about. Quiet, hard-working perennials that feed you for years, save space, and turn even the smallest garden into a vertical food forest. Hello, beautiful gardeners. Welcome back to Serene Green Gardens. If you're returning, I'm grateful you're here. This community truly grows because of you. And if you're new, I'm so happy you found this peaceful little corner where gardening doesn't have to be expensive, complicated, or overwhelming. Here, we garden smart, save money, and create spaces that stay generous year after year. Before we begin, take a second to tap that like button if you love simple, practical garden ideas that actually work. And if you want weekly tips that help you grow more food in small spaces without spending a fortune, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Now, settle in, take a breath, and let's grow upward together. Plant 1. Hardy Kiwi. Hardy Kiwi is a climbing vine that doesn't get nearly enough love in small space gardens, but deserves a spot on every vertical trellis. Unlike the soft, fuzzy kiwis you see in grocery stores, this variety produces small, smooth-skinned fruit packed with flavor and nutrients. And it stays perennial, coming back year after year once it's established. With a single plant and a sturdy up support, you transform a bare fence or trellis into a seasonal fruit-bearing wall that yields a surprise harvest when most people think vertical gardening means leafy greens only. The beauty of a hardy kiwi is how easily it slips into a low-maintenance routine. Once it roots in, as long as it gets enough sun and a bit of water now and then, it will climb steadily, sending out tendrils and forming dense vines full of lush leaves, providing shade, privacy, and soft green color before fruit even touches the branches. It doesn't demand perfect soil or constant fertilizing. Seasonal pruning helps keep it under control, but it rarely requires much beyond the basics. For gardeners who want perennial payoff rather than one-season effort, this vine repays patience with consistency and yield. And when fruit season rolls around, those little kiwi-like bites are delightfully sweet and tropical tasting, more aromatic and vibrant than you expect for such small fruits. They fall easily when ripe, so harvesting is simple. You get not just a vine that climbs and fills space, but one that gives you something you can eat, share with friends, or turn into jams and smoothies. Hardy Kiwi offers a real garden-to-table reward, without needing more room than a modest fence or a narrow vertical patch. Plant 2. Scarlet Runner Bean. Scarlet Runner Bean is one of those vines that quietly does everything, feeds you, decorates your garden, and keeps coming back with a little care. Most people grow it as an annual without realizing that in many climates, the root actually behaves like a perennial. Once established, it shoots back up every growing season, climbing fast and filling vertical spaces with almost no effort from you. For small gardens, it's a dream. Quick coverage, steady food, and a plant that never feels like work. What makes it stand out is the combination of beauty and usefulness. The vines burst into bright, glowing red blossoms that look like something out of a fairy garden. Those flowers aren't just eye candy, they bring in hummingbirds and pollinators that help the rest of your garden thrive. Then come the edible pods and beans, giving you a steady harvest while you enjoy the show. It's rare to find a vine that gives you both aesthetics and food without needing constant fussing, but this one pulls it off effortlessly. As it climbs, it turns plain fences, arches, and trellises into soft green walls that move in the breeze. And because it grows upward instead of outward, it leaves your limited ground space free for other crops. It's a multitasking vine: food, beauty, pollinator magnet, and natural vertical filler, all rolled into one. For gardeners who want a perennial-style vine that feels alive and generous every year, Scarlet Runner Bean is one of the best-kept secrets. Plant 3. Hops Vine. Hops isn't just for brewing. It's actually one of the most underrated edible perennials you can grow vertically. Most gardeners never consider it because they think it's only useful to beer makers. But the young shoots are completely edible and taste surprisingly similar to tender asparagus. When the plant wakes up each year, it sends out these fresh, crisp shoots that you can harvest early in the season. After that, the vine climbs fast, thick, and tall, giving you coverage and shade while also producing those iconic hops cones. One of the best things about hops is its reliability. Once planted, this vine comes back stronger every year with very little help from you. It's a true perennial, deep roots, strong regrowth, and a natural drive to climb. It loves any sturdy vertical support and can easily turn an ordinary fence or arch into a lush green canopy. You don't need fancy soil, and you don't need constant fertilizing. Give it sun, give it something to climb, and it handles the rest. It's the kind of plant that makes small gardens feel alive and full without demanding your whole weekend. Those papery cones it produces later in the season aren't just for brewers either. You can use them for herbal teas, calming sachets, natural sleep aids, or just enjoy their aromatic scent in your garden. The texture and shape add a unique beauty as they dangle from the vines. So you get edible shoots early on, fragrant cones later, and a perennial vine that returns every year, working quietly in the background, saving you space while giving you something truly special to harvest. Plant 4, groundnut vine, Apios americana. Groundnut vine is one of those crops that feels like a secret from the past, an old, traditional food source that somehow slipped out of popular gardening knowledge. It's a perennial climbing vine that produces edible tubers along its roots, almost like a chain of small, flavorful potatoes. The vine itself climbs gracefully, filling vertical spaces with soft green foliage, while the underground tubers quietly multiply year after year. For small gardens, this means you get a food crop that renews itself without needing replanting every season. What makes groundnut vines so special is how versatile the tubers are. They are protein-rich, earthy, and can be cooked just like potatoes, boiled, roasted, mashed, or turned into hearty stews. And because they grow in clusters, you can harvest some and leave the rest to keep the plant going. It's the kind of perennial crop that lets you take a little now and enjoy even more later. Above ground, the vine produces these charming clusters of maroon to rose-colored flowers that look like tiny sculptures and attract pollinators with their sweet scent. Despite how productive it is, this vine doesn't ask for much. It handles poor soil better than many vegetables, thrives with minimal care, and happily climbs any support you give it. Once the vine finds its rhythm, it becomes a quiet, continuous source of food tucked neatly into your vertical space. You get height, beauty, edible flowers, and a harvest of tubers underground, all from one perennial vine most gardeners don't even know exists. Plant 5, Akebia, chocolate vine. Akebia, also called chocolate vine, is a climbing perennial that's as intriguing as it is edible. Most gardeners grow it purely for its ornamental appeal, but the fruit it produces is a hidden gem. The pods have a soft, sweet pulp inside that tastes subtly like chocolate and vanilla mixed together. The vine itself grows quickly, twining around trellises, fences, or arches, and can create a full, leafy canopy in just a couple of seasons, perfect for small vertical gardens that need both coverage and productivity. The beauty of Akebia is how low maintenance it is once established. It's a tough vine that tolerates a variety of soils, climbs wherever you let it, and comes back year after year with little effort. The delicate 5-petaled flowers bloom in early spring, providing a lovely fragrance and drawing in pollinators, while the fruit develops later in summer. The pods are easy to harvest, and if you let them fully ripen, the sweet pulp inside is a delightful treat you won't find at your local grocery store. This vine is also visually striking. The leaves form rich dark green clusters that turn burgundy in the fall, and the curling tendrils give your trellis or fence a soft, romantic texture. It's one of those rare plants that delivers on multiple levels: edible fruit, perennial growth, beautiful flowers, and climbing greenery, all without taking up valuable ground space. For gardeners looking for something unique that feeds, decorates, and surprises, Akebia is a must-have. Hi friends, if you're enjoying these unique climbing vines so far, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps this channel reach more gardeners who want smart, space-saving ideas. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the rest of our top 10 list. Also, drop a comment below and tell me which of these vines you're most excited to try in your own garden. I love hearing your ideas and seeing your gardens grow. Now, let's keep climbing with the next amazing perennial vine. Plant 6, Chilean guava. Vine, Ugni molinai. Chilean guava vine is a small but mighty perennial climber that surprises almost everyone who grows it. Unlike ordinary berry plants, it twines elegantly over trellises and fences, producing tiny ruby-red fruits that are incredibly fragrant and packed with flavor. The taste is sweet with a hint of tartness, perfect for fresh eating, jams, or desserts. For a small vertical garden, this vine gives you more than just height. It gives you a fruit harvest that feels truly special. What makes it stand out is how hardy and low maintenance it is. Once established, Chilean guava thrives with minimal care, tolerates a range of soil types, and keeps returning year after year. Its evergreen leaves provide a lush backdrop for your garden, so even when it's not fruiting, the vine adds greenery and structure. You don't need to fuss over it constantly, just a little pruning to shape it and you're good to go. The flowers are small but fragrant, attracting bees and other pollinators that benefit your entire garden. Combined with the vibrant red fruit, the vine becomes a visual and edible centerpiece. For gardeners seeking a perennial vine that's unusual, productive, and beautifully scented, Chilean guava is a hidden treasure that deserves a place in any vertical garden. Plant 7. Air potato, Dioscorea bulbifera. Air potato is a climbing perennial vine that's often underestimated because it looks simple at first glance. But don't be fooled. This vine produces small, potato-like bulbs along its stems, in addition to edible tubers underground, giving you multiple harvest options. It grows quickly, twisting around fences, trellises, or arches, and can completely cover vertical structures in a single growing season, making it ideal for gardeners with limited ground space who still want a productive crop. What makes air potato unique is its dual harvest potential. The aerial bulbs can be collected for cooking once they mature, while the underground tubers act like a hidden stash of nutrition that keeps returning year after year. Once the vine is established, it's incredibly hardy and doesn't demand much maintenance. Give it support to climb, water it lightly during dry spells, and it will reward you with dense foliage and continual growth throughout the season. Visually, the vine is lush and tropical looking, with large heart-shaped leaves that provide shade and cover for other plants beneath it. It's also surprisingly ornamental. The hanging aerial bulbs almost look like natural decorations dangling among the leaves. For gardeners seeking a productive, perennial vine that is both practical and eye-catching, air potato is a hidden gem that transforms vertical space into a living pantry. Plant 8. Hardy passion fruit, Passiflora incarnata. Hardy passion fruit is a climbing perennial that surprises most gardeners because it's tough, beautiful, and produces edible fruit that tastes like a tropical vacation in a bite. Unlike the common annual passion fruit varieties, this one comes back year after year once established. The vines twist vigorously around fences, trellises, or pergolas, forming dense green coverage while also rewarding you with fragrant flowers and flavorful fruit. What sets hardy passion fruit apart is its combination of resilience and charm. It tolerates a variety of soils, handles partial shade, and thrives with minimal care. The flowers are dramatic, large, intricate, and exotic looking, drawing pollinators to your garden while providing a showy display. When fruit develops, you get small, tangy passion fruits that are perfect for fresh eating, juices, or desserts, turning your vertical garden into a perennial food source that also looks extraordinary. The vine grows quickly and can easily cover vertical structures, giving your garden both height and texture without taking up valuable ground space. Its evergreen foliage adds a soft, lush backdrop, and the climbing habit helps maximize small garden areas. For gardeners looking for a perennial vine that's unusual, productive, and visually stunning, hardy passion fruit is a standout choice that keeps giving year after year. Plant 9. Siberian pea vine, Carigana arborescens var. Siberica. Siberian pea vine is a perennial climbing legume that most gardeners overlook, yet it's a powerhouse for small vertical gardens. Unlike typical edible vines, this one produces both nitrogen-fixing benefits for your soil and nutrient-rich pea pods that you can harvest and eat. It twines up trellises, fences, or arches with ease, creating a living wall that feeds the soil while feeding you. A true multitasker in any garden. What makes it special is its hardiness and low-maintenance nature. Once planted, Siberian pea vine comes back year after year with very little care, tolerates poor soils, and even helps improve soil fertility for neighboring plants thanks to its nitrogen-fixing roots. The pea pods are tender and flavorful when young, adding protein to your diet without taking up precious garden space. And because it's a perennial, you don't have to replant each season. It quietly regenerates itself while climbing skyward. Visually, the vine is elegant and airy, with pinnate leaves that create a soft, textured backdrop on fences and trellises. During bloom, it produces delicate yellow flowers that attract bees and pollinators, enhancing the biodiversity of your garden. Siberian pea vine is one of those under-the-radar perennials that offers beauty, edible harvests, and environmental benefits all in one vertical growing package. Plant 10. Chilean glory. Vine, Echromycarpus scaber. Chilean glory vine is the final hidden gem on our list, a climbing perennial that's as striking as it is productive. This vine produces tubular, flame-colored flowers that aren't just ornamental. They attract pollinators that help the rest of your garden thrive. While the flowers are the main attraction, the vine also produces small edible fruits in some climates, giving you a unique combination of beauty and taste. It climbs fences, trellises, and arches effortlessly, quickly transforming vertical spaces into vibrant walls of color and greenery. What makes Chilean glory vine stand out is its long-term performance. Once established, it comes back year after year with minimal maintenance. The vine is hardy, tolerates different soil types, and is drought-tolerant once settled. The dense foliage provides shade for smaller plants underneath and adds lush texture to your vertical garden, making it both functional and visually appealing. It's a perennial that rewards patience with continuous growth, flowers, and fruit over many seasons. Beyond its hardiness and productivity, the Chilean glory vine has a soft, elegant movement that gives any garden structure a dynamic, living quality. Its combination of edible potential, perennial growth, and ornamental beauty makes it a standout choice for gardeners seeking something unique, useful, and memorable. This is the vine that most people pass by without realizing how much it can contribute to a small, productive vertical garden. And there you have it, 10 extraordinary perennial climbing vines that can completely transform your small vertical garden. Each of these plants brings something unique to the table: edible harvests, stunning flowers, lush foliage, and the satisfaction of growing something that keeps coming back year after year. Whether you're looking for unusual fruits, nutrient-rich vegetables, or just a vine that turns a plain fence into a living wall, these perennials prove that vertical gardening isn't just for the ordinary. It's for anyone ready to think creatively and grow smart. If you tried any of these vines or plan to, I'd love to hear which ones you're most excited about. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Let's inspire each other to get the most out of our small spaces. And don't forget to like this video if it gives you new ideas, subscribe for more budget-friendly garden tips, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a guide that helps you grow smarter, not harder. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy gardening.